it's going to inspire them to do better in future for their nets, and also in general to inspire them to become better students and be able to do well in their school academic work.
DJCell TV, home of rugby league. Dial *515# to subscribe.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. This is TV1 News. I'm Mary Silla Kelaton.
And I'm Rex Litter. I'll join you later in the bulletin for sports.
In this edition, Kramer reinstated, pilgrimage for Pope's visit, and Enslom and Toxic Man go global. The Waigani National Court has granted the stay application filed by Kramer's lawyer and reinstated him back to office. Kramer will now go back to performing national duties pending the judicial review proceeding that is before the court.
Suspended MP for Madang Brian Kramer will now go back to perform his national duties after the Waigani National Court granted the stay application he filed, challenging the decision of the leadership tribunal that suspended him from office. The main argument Kramer's lawyer made in the stay application is that the people of Madang have been without an MP for the past 2 years. Presiding Judge Justice Susan Poden Selly, when granting the application, made 3 orders: stay the decision of the leadership tribunal, stay the suspension under the organic law on the duties and responsibilities of a leader, and an interim order for Kramer to return to serve the people of Madang. In welcoming the court's decision, Kramer said the district has been astray since he was dismissed from the office. With his reinstatement by the court, he intends to continue with development projects that were put on hold.
Programs down to those wards, and this included seasonal workers to Australia. It included them building their own aid posts, classrooms. So this program that we had introduced empowers them to actually implement projects by themselves. And when I was suspended, then all funding to those projects came to a halt. And so there's significant disruption on the services in Madang. We had a rural transport program of 49 PMBs, most of which I understand have been completely come to a standstill, been run down. So we'll try and ensure that those programs are up and running. And then basically the issues raised by in concern of compliance with administration process, we'll be reviewing those and ensure that there's compliance with that process going forward.
Meanwhile, the direction hearing for the judicial review proceedings will be held on October 21st. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
Christians in Papua New Guinea, irrespective of denomination, have been invited to participate in the Pope's visit, as it is a historical but important visit, bringing much hope, joy and peace to a nation that is on the peripheries of the world. President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Papua New Guinea and Solomon Islands and Bishop of Berena Diocese, Bishop Otto Separi, made this call in light of the hate and negativity propagated by a few on social media.
With preparations for the Pope's visit advanced, Bishop Otto Separi reminded Papua New Guinea of the age of Christianity in the country, describing the church in PNG as a very young church compared to churches in Europe, which are thousands of years old. And he said for the Pope to decide to visit PNG, which is not just a young church, but one that's at the peripheries, brings much hope to this young church.
Now the Pope coming to us is coming because of this. Go out to the ends of the earth. And I think Papua New Guinea is the ends of the earth. We are the peripheries of the world. Compared to civilization, compared to Christianity, we are almost about 100 years ago, 150 years ago, maybe 40 years ago. We are very young in terms of Christianity. So the Pope coming to us is following the words of Jesus. Go to the ends of the earth and visit my people in Papua New Guinea.
He called on Papua New Guineans to see the Pope's visit as a visit to the Oceania region and not just PNG. He also called on all Christians to pray for this visit to be a success and urged everyone to take this visit as an enrichment to their spiritual journey instead of buying into all the negativity that's been spread by people with ulterior motives.
I would emphasize we all Christians must pray that the Pope's visit must be a success. You know, we talk about all kinds of things happening in our country, violence, hatred, killings, murder, rape, and all kinds of things, marriage problems. These are problems of spiritual life. So I believe the coming of the Pope will emphasize the Christian values in our marriage life, in our everyday life, respecting the human person.
Archbishop of Port Moresby Archdiocese, Sir John Cardinal Ribat, highlighted the importance the Pope has placed on PNG by choosing to visit.
And is now turning 88 this year. And therefore, he could have said, I've heard so many news about PNG, and maybe it's better that I do not go. But no. At his age, and with all his issues also about health, he still decided to come.
And with the nation going through tough times, Cardinal Ribat said this was the opportunity to join hands in prayer and seek God's healing on this land.
And for us, we have gone through also a lot of difficulties in our time. There is violence. We've gone through the Black Wednesday here in January 10th. And fighting, killing, and natural disasters. All these things has been part of our life until this time. And, you know, we are praying for peace. We are praying for healing from all this. We are praying for renewal. We are praying for all this, peace and unity and so on in all these things. And, you know, the coming of Pope Francis helps us to be able to arrive at this, because he's a leader of state, he's a leader of a state, and also he's a leader in church, a spiritual leader.
Meantime, the PNG Council of Churches, which includes the mainline churches, are together in this. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
With 14 days to go before the arrival of Pope Francis in Papua New Guinea on September 6, preparations for the papal visit are well underway in Port Moresby. Don Bosco Technological Institute is one venue Pope Francis visits on his short stay in the country early next month. Though it's only an hour's visit to DBTI, the Institute says it's a blessing to host the Pope. Currently, minor works are underway with activities planned to mark a busy end of August. Father Alfred Lennon, who is coordinating the papal visit, says it's an honor to receive the Holy Father. Students also say they are blessed to receive the Pope.
All the things in order, the choir, the papal entourage messages. And of course, the most important part is the spiritual preparation. We don't simply want it to be like a gathering, but an encounter with the successor of Christ, who is the 266th successor, Pope Francis.
And I am privileged and I am honored to meet such a person where I dream to encounter or to meet personally, where finally he'll come and visit my school, so like I'll be able to see him.
I am very honored and privileged to say that Pope will be coming to our school, Don Bosco Technological Institute, and he will be visiting the shrine of Mary Help of Christians. And as a student in Don Bosco Technological Institute, it is very, very exciting to see Pope for the first time.
43 men and women from the Nebelia Deanery in the Mount Hagen Archdiocese walked the treacherous Bulldog Trek en route to Port Moresby to witness the Pope's visit. Arriving in Port Moresby on Tuesday, the group consists of 33 men and 10 women, of which 2 men are from a local Pentecostal church. With no written tickets to go home after their visit, they are satisfied and are comfortably settling in for now, ready to witness the arrival of the Pope, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them.
Leaving Mount Hagen on the 12th of August, the team arrived in Port Moresby on the 20th, spending a week on the road, walking the treacherous and unforgiving terrains and jungles of the Morobe and Gulf provinces. After arriving in Lae from Hagen on the 13th of August, they were dropped off at Aseki, where the journey of faith began. None of them had walked this road before. Team leader and catechist Makane recounts their experience.
Miblai come up long waratapo, at long waratapo. Now miblai bianim disla waratapo I come down. Miblai miblai using popular leg. Where tamblo warakam na antapem stone come down all them. Na miblai olimol rope or as long diwai miblai olim na. Suppose miblai all this la rope brugna miblai pundan embam lang gonjet long. Waratapo na disla waratu em deiti.
Kane is baffled at how they were welcomed and hosted at various locations along the trek by strangers who became friends and offered both food and hospitality over the 4 days on the trek.
But in Jello this lab and one bla prayer house blong Catholic churches stop long Namel road. You know Namel but side. I'm stop me play come up this lab all this line all kisim kikombana all kisim kikobora stop no give me bla. Na me play kisim na kagay. Na me play discuss plenty also. Oh I'm all alarm talk sabe. Na me play skimol. You play kisim talk hello we said. No, me play ready stable talk. Okay, me play talk thank you, me play pray this lab.
Maggie Paul, one of the 10 women who bravely walked the trek, expressed how a longing to see the Pope led her to complete the journey, despite the distance and financial constraints.
Tasol now and Pope bakam lo Papua Ningini long, Port Moresby all to semna. Lo lifetime blow me pla, one time all picking blow me pla, all family blow me pla mass. Go look him or feel him or touch him na ba me pla come back this la desire me come lo ting blow me pla na me pla no read him sambla money me pla no ting long come tasol and desire me pla like come long and me pla true go looking Pope long I blow me pla and by history.
Jacob Domu, a senior parishioner at Carapia Parish, can't wait to participate in the Eucharistic celebrations on the 8th of September that will be presided by the Holy Father.
Mi mas bogobo tingo go come up long Moresby na mi mas bungim Papa Santo. Straight long mi 43 mi bogobo ti come long and long this plaster sol mi bogobo ti come.
With St. John's Tokarara Parish assigned to host the Mount Hagen Archdiocese, the group is now accommodated here and said they will remain there for the next 2 weeks until the Pope's arrival. Ruth Rungula, TVWAN News.
The 10th Asia-Pacific Mediation Forum, which was hosted for the past 3 days, ended yesterday. Governor-General Grand Chief Sir Bob Dadai officially closed the ceremony.
In a small yet significant closing ceremony of the 10th Asia-Pacific Mediation Forum yesterday, Governor-General Sir Bob Dadai graced the conference with his presence to officially end the forum. In his closing remark, Dadai is hopeful that the outcome of the conference will resonate across the Pacific region and beyond, fostering peace, understanding, and a deeper connection to the environment. Elaborating further on the theme, regional challenges, regional solutions, global outcome, Sir Bob Dadai said using mediation to resolve environmental and climate change disputes is a powerful tool for harmony and sustainability, where legal professionals, especially lawyers, play a pivotal role in mediating climate change disputes at the community level. He said the legal profession must take ownership and lead when issues arise in the face of climate crisis. Dadai added that the exchange of ideas for the past 3 days of the conference created dialogues that resonated with the challenges of environmental law and climate change. It is satisfying to see the commitment of all parties that explore the role of mediation as the mechanisms of conflict resolution. He said the contribution of the members has shown that mediation is not only a tool but a pathway to sustainable solutions that honor our diverse cultures and rights. The Governor-General urged the participants to transfer what they have learned from the forum to the people in the community to ensure the knowledge is not kept only with the person but shared with the community.
You're watching TV1 News. After the break, Slum and Toxic Man go global, and IMF releases 1.2 billion kina to Papua New Guinea.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SP Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook, and with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
Welcome back. Papua New Guinea's musical talents are gaining global recognition as reggae sensation Anselm Nakikus and renowned producer Toxic Man makes headlines. Nakikus, celebrated for his culturally rich music, recently performed at the Pacific Arts and Culture Festival in Hawaii and was honored with a U.S. Musical Award. He is now set to travel to Atlanta with his team thanks to sponsorship from the National Cultural Commission to compete at the International Singer-Songwriter Association Awards on August 24. Toxic Man, the stage name of Emmanuel Muganawa, has also achieved significant acclaim as a finalist in the ISSA Awards. His work as a producer on Nakikus' nominated tracks Break the Barrier, Zion Train and Jailbird has solidified his reputation in the industry. Both Nakikus and Toxic Man will be celebrated at the ISSA Awards ceremony in Los Angeles on August 25. This recognition highlights Papua New Guinea's growing influence in the global music scene.
I also have an award on Sunday in Los Angeles. This is called the Intercontinental Music Awards. This is based in LA.
A great concern for the national government amongst the many socio-economic and cultural issues, the challenge of internally displaced persons. Papua New Guinea currently has no policy in place in assistance to affected communities. When the need arises, is through ad hoc basis and not through a coordinated whole-of-government approach. Thus, the urgency for a policy. Since 14 August, the Department of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs have been hosting a series of regional validation workshops. The workshops will validate and finalize the draft on National Internally Displaced Persons Policy for Papua New Guinea. The IDP policy initiative is a first of its kind for the country, aimed at addressing social issues and challenges faced by displaced citizens across the country.
Hopefully by November we are looking at launching the actual policy. This is a very important policy because currently in PNG we do not have one in place, and this will be the first in the country and also in the Pacific Islands nation. So looking at the currently on our situation on the ground, we do not have a policy, and it is very hard to address those people who have been affected in terms of natural disaster, in terms of climate changes, man-made and development changes.
Deputy Secretary of the Department of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs, Joseph Warus, said the policy is essential to address internally displaced persons and complement existing legislations. The policy, once developed, will satisfy some expectations from the national government's international partners and set the framework for all donor partners to work together to address the IDP issues in the country.
Papua New Guinea is vulnerable to a number of natural hazards, human-induced hazards, cyclones, volcanoes, as well as tribal fighting in parts of the country, which tend to displace a number of communities. And to help support, address the needs of those displaced by the disasters, looking at post-response and post-crisis period, we are supporting the government to draft this document, draft policy on internal displacement in Papua New Guinea.
The regional validation workshops that concluded today have mainly solicited comments and views from a broader spectrum of stakeholders, government representatives, civil society, affected communities, and development partners based in these regions. These workshops will be followed by a national stakeholder workshop that will be held in Port Moresby. Bokbilong Pikinini unveiled their latest reader, When I Grow Up, I Want to Be a Hotelier. at the Grand Papua Hotel recently. The event featured role model Dorothy Morea and young professional Zaya Hanesolian and included a hotel tour and table setting activity for children from the Vabukori Village Library Learning Center. The reader is part of the WIGU series, which explores various careers and promotes literacy. It's supported by Steamships Grand Papua Hotel and the Sir Brian Bell Foundation. The series is available at Theodist and from BBP. The International Monetary Fund has completed the second review of Papua New Guinea's fund-supported program and released $125 million, approximately 480 million, over 480 million kina towards budget support. The 38-month extended credit facility and extended fund facility arrangements approved on March 22nd support the government's reforms to address long-standing structural impediments to inclusive growth. The second round of funds now brings the total disbursements under the program so far to about 1.2 billion kina.
Papua New Guinea's economic outlook remains positive, while growth is expected to increase in 2024 to 4.6% from 2.9% in 2023, supported by the resumption of activities at the Pogara gold mine and by favorable commodity prices. According to the International Monetary Fund projection, inflation is expected to normalize towards its historical average of around 5%, while gross international reserves stood comfortably at $3.9 billion at the end of 2023, or 6.6 months of total imports, providing space to continue implementing central banking reforms. When completing the second review of the budget support funds, the Executive Board of IMF also approved a waiver of applicability for 3 and June 2024 performance criteria, for which data are not yet available. The medium-term outlook is positive, but subject to risk. When acknowledging IMF's review in a public statement, Prime Minister James Marape highlighted that GDP growth projection of 4.6% for 2024 places Papua New Guinea among the fastest growing economies in the region. He said the outlook is bright, with stronger growth, stable inflation, and easing foreign exchange shortages leading the way forward. Freda, TVWAN News.
Meantime, the International Monetary Fund has also warned that PNG's medium-term outlook is positive but subject to risk. When completing the second review of PNG's fund-supported program, the IMF pointed out that on the upside, the start of the construction of major resource projects could yield additional economic growth, as well as gains in exports and fiscal revenues once operational. However, PNG is vulnerable to domestic and external shocks exacerbated by public debt, FX shortages, and capacity constraints. Oktedi Mining recently hosted a fact-finding delegation from the East Sepik Provincial Administration to prepare for the forthcoming Freda River Project in the Sepik region. The delegation, which included the Provincial Administration Mining Desk team, visited OTML's operations from August 11th to 16 to gain a comprehensive understanding of mine operations and address concerns related to the Freda River Copper Gold Project.
The Freda River Project, located in a region shared by both East and West Sepik provinces, has raised significant environmental concerns among local communities, particularly regarding the Sepik River and its floodplain system. The delegation toured key OTML sites, including the mine, mill, OK Menga hydropower station, and Kyonga operations. They also observed the second stage of regional meetings for the Community Mine Continuation Agreement Review. The team, led by Martin Torovi, focused on various operational aspects, such as mine waste management, the pyrite concentrate plant, environmental monitoring, community relations and development programs managed by the Oktedi Development Foundation. Toravi emphasized the importance of learning from OTML, noting the similarities between Oktedi and the proposed Freda River mine. He said if granted an environmental permit, East Sepik Provincial Administration will be responsible for managing the environmental impact and benefit sharing agreements. This visit has provided them with valuable insights. Provincial Mine and Lands Minister and President of Gawi LLG, Leo Singut, expressed his gratitude for the opportunity to learn from OTML. OTML Managing Director and CEO Kedi Limbit reaffirmed the company's commitment to sharing knowledge, stating they are pleased to provide the delegation with valuable insights as they prepare for the Freda River Project and its potential impacts on their region. Kaokiru Jr., TV1 News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed lower at $0.2571 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Kina was buying $0.2496 US, $0.3668 Australian dollars, $0.2160 euro, and 35.84 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all closed higher except gold closed lower and copper closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Kakaro, get up a big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, na mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
When you're spending time with family, when you've got a big day ahead, when you have given it all you've got, when you're putting on a feast, that's when you want the best. That's when you want flame rice. New flame rice. Win him, Olgeta.
Scale Rice brings to you some Scale Indie vibes this independence. Cashing out a total of 300,000 kina in prize money around PNG this independence. 4 fortnightly draws, 75 fortnightly winners, 300 total Scale Rice winners, and 1,000 kina Scale Indie prize for every Scale winner. Here's how to enter the promotion. Buy any Scale or Ori Rice product, write your full name and contact details on the back of the store receipt, drop your entry into the entry box in store. For more information, either check in store or follow us on our Scale Rice PNG page. Terms and conditions apply. Scale Rice, and buy you like it.
Beauty is my business, but beauty sure is a tough game. Filters are great, but great skin, better. And that's why my skin deserves the best. So I choose self-care, soaps that gently nourish my skin, resulting in a radiant look, made with tropical ingredients. I trust self-care from City Pharmacy, so bring it on! My skin is ready and so am I.
Welcome back. In news abroad, a woman and her 2 children have survived a terrifying encounter in Sydney's west with her estranged husband, who was armed with a gun. Police say he traveled from Victoria to hunt them down. He also shot a random member of the public who is now recovering in hospital.
A woman was seeking refuge at her parents' Auburn home with her 2 children.
They're from Victoria and she was trying to escape her husband, but last night he found them.
The male became enraged, has smashed the front window of the premises and forced open the front doors but did not enter the premises.
The 50-year-old went to the house just after 10 p.m, armed with a gun. He pointed it at his father-in-law, who is in his 70s, and pulled the trigger, but it failed to fire. He then turned the gun towards his mother-in-law and fired a shot into the house, which missed everyone inside.
We heard the bangs and the people were screaming. Very scary.
I'm very thankful at this stage that we don't have yet another DV-related homicide on our hands.
The man left the home and tried to carjack another man and his teenage daughter nearby. He fired a shot into their car, hitting the 55-year-old driver in the neck. He was taken to hospital in a stable condition.
Traumatic experience for his daughter that was in the car at the time that managed to contact 000.
The gunman was found dead in a nearby creek several hours after he targeted his family. The couple had been together for 23 years and have 2 children, a 20-year-old son and a 15-year-old daughter. They were both here last night when their father fired a gun into the home.
There's a lot of shock and distress in the family at the moment, and the wealth of support is going around the family to ensure that we're providing everything humanly possible.
Police say there were no recent reports of domestic violence involving the family in New South Wales or Victoria. But detectives are still investigating what led them to flee their home state.
The French ambassador to the Pacific, Veronique Roger-Lecan, wants to set the record straight, reminding people that France is the administering power and in control of New Caledonia for now. She says New Caledonia is France and it's legally in international public law and is how it is. Her comments follow New Caledonia Congress President Rock Wayne doubling down on Indigenous Canucks' aspirations to seek self-determination. Roger-Lecan says Paris has a totally impartial stance because it implements all principles of the United Nations of free, fair, transparent, democratic processes. Travel plans for many Canberrans have been thrown into disarray after Batik Air decided to scale back flights between the ACT and Bali. Aviation experts highlight the ongoing struggle to maintain international services from the capital, adding to the frustration for affected travellers.
These Canberra nurses have been dreaming of their Bali escape for a year. But last week, their plans hit turbulence.
We got a WhatsApp message just stating that they were moving our flights from the 1st of September to the 25th of August. So initially we thought it was a scam.
But an email confirmed it.
Everyone in our travel party is a nurse, so you just can't change your leave with a week's notice.
They've now rebooked the trip with a different airline at 3 times the cost.
So $970 one way now versus the $300 that we had paid 6 months ago.
Batik Air launched in Canberra in June with great fanfare, promising 3 direct flights to Bali a week. That's now been cut back to 2 services due to lower than expected demand.
When you start a new route, it usually takes between 6 and 9 months to get established.
A reality of some of the cost of living challenges that people are experiencing at the moment is that overseas travel and holidays to Bali are probably things that are considered discretionary.
Batik Air is one of just 2 international carriers currently servicing the capital. Aviation experts say Canberra's population size means sustaining those flights can be difficult.
Airlines don't like to fly half-full flights or have empty seats because that's an empty seat represents no money being made.
Canberra Airport and the ACT government say they're in constant negotiations with airlines to secure more international flights for the capital. They're pushing to resume services to Singapore and New Zealand, which were axed during the pandemic.
The earliest anything new would start would be next year,
leaving hopeful holidaymakers in a holding pattern.
Allied health workers from the Royal Hobart Hospital have joined the growing list of sectors taking industrial action, protesting inadequate staffing levels. This move adds pressure on the state government for more resources. However, Tasmania's financial situation is concerning, with economist Sol Eslake as warning of a potential $16 billion debt burden within a decade.
Another day, another set of public sector staff loudly walking off the job.
Save staffing now!
Medical imaging workers say 30% of positions in their area at the Royal Hobart Hospital are vacant.
We can barely manage to keep up with the inpatient load, so that's emergency patients and critical patients that are having delayed diagnosis and then delayed treatment and management because of our lack of staffing.
We don't make this decision lightly. It negatively affects us too, but we can't keep working under these conditions.
They join child safety staff, nurses, midwives and more in current industrial action, all demanding more resources and warning of the impact of budget savings measures like the efficiency dividend or vacancy controls.
We need to be blunt, and it hurts to hear it. But in a health context, it means people will get sicker and some of them might die. In education, it means that our kids are not going to be up to the right standards.
The government says it's working with health unions in good faith.
Economist Sol Eslake has highlighted Tasmania's ever-growing debt burden, but recommended against cuts to public services to fix it. He says Tasmania is already spending $880 less per person than the national average on public services.
The next budget that will be delivered on the 12th of September is going to be a very challenging budget for Tasmanians if the Liberals go ahead with those huge cuts.
We are investing more money into housing, health, cost of living and of course education. Investing more, not less.
A challenging budget ahead.
With the ACT election campaign on the horizon, the two major parties are exchanging barbs over Canberra's education system. The Barr government has agreed to implement improvements recommended by an independent review released in May. However, the Canberra Liberals are now trying to convince families and teachers that they would provide a better alternative.
Despite reassurances from teachers, by year 2, Emily Lewis's son was still struggling with reading.
I think it became clear that the school didn't have the systems or the resources in place to try and bridge that gap along with us, so that's when we sought out an external tutor.
Emily is frustrated she had to seek support outside the public system.
There's a lot of private tutoring places in Canberra that are extremely expensive, like thousands of dollars per term, and it's just impossible for many families to be able to afford external tutoring.
In May, the ACT government agreed to implement recommendations of an expert panel on literacy and numeracy over 4 years, with $25 million in June's budget to increase teaching consistency, conduct phonics testing in Year 1 and provide multi-tiered support along with extra resources. The opposition doesn't think it's enough.
The Canberra Liberals have costed our policy to fully fund and fully implement the evidence-based approaches to improving literacy and numeracy, and that's at $98 million.
The Liberals are also promising more funding to improve classrooms and annual $200 vouchers for teachers.
We have heard from many teachers that a lot of the times they are putting their hand into their own pocket to purchase school supplies.
The Education Union has given the policy top marks.
The education plan announced by Elizabeth Lee today shows that she has listened to Canberra's public school teachers, and we certainly welcome that, and we welcome the constructive dialogue that she's engaged in.
But the Chief Minister argues the opposition is simply copying his government's homework.
We have already budgeted hundreds of millions of dollars, more than $600 million for work across our public education system. So an announcement today from the Liberals of only an extra $25 million I don't think will achieve what they are stating it will.
Parties' plans to be tested at the polls.
And that ends the news segment. We'll be back after the break with sports.
Are you ready to meet the best version of yourself? The one with the bright, confident smile? You've got to take pride in how good you look, how fresh your breath smells, and how great you feel. To boss it at work, to be your best for uni, or to catch the eye of that special someone. You've got to brush up your vibe with whiter, healthier, brighter teeth. Brush up for confidence with Colgate.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
At the PNG LNG project, we are proud of our long-standing partnership with the Kumuls, as they represent the hopes and aspirations of so many Papua New Guineans. Rugby league is more than just a sport. It promotes our shared values of leadership, teamwork, respect, personal integrity, and excellence. Lessons learnt on the pitch carry on throughout life and go beyond serving ourselves.
These two are creeping into your personal space. Why don't we send them packing? Oh, maybe not.
Bing bang bing, bum bum.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You me holy man, no walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to be living incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
Welcome back. PNG athletes who participated in the 2024 Paris Olympics were given a formal welcome reception at the Gateway Hotel in Port Moresby Monday night. PNG Olympic Committee led the welcome party in showing appreciation to athletes for representing the country at the world's most iconic sporting event. In a small yet significant gathering for the returning PNG Olympic athletes, there were all smiles all around the room. Olympians in the likes of Ryan Pinney, Dick Atawa, and the Paris Olympians taekwondo duo Kevin Castman and Gibson Mara, John Ume and Morea Barus showed up. Despite the results at the Olympics, the PNG Olympic Committee expressed gratitude to the athletes for giving their best in their respective events. PNG Olympic Committee Secretary General Desmond Kaviagu formally welcomed the athletes home, anticipating a good performance from them in their qualifiers for the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. The preparation starts with the 2025 Mini Pacific Games. Kaviagu said Team PNG represents not only the country, but the very spirit of Olympicism, a spirit that transcends the Olympic Games themselves. He said their dedication, hard work and sportsmanship have made the country immensely proud. Meanwhile, the PNG Olympic Committee extended gratitude to individuals, corporate entities and state agencies for their support in their future fundraising events and look forward to working together again in the future. Port Moresby will send the largest number of teams to this year's 45th National Softball Championships, which will be held on the Independence Weekend of September 13th to 16th in East New Britain Province. With well over 20 teams anticipated to attend, Port Moresby will have 3 men's and 2 women's teams, with squad list and training schedules already announced.
The 3 Port Moresby men's teams comprising 17 players each are Melona's Team 1, Mero's Team 2, and Kakana's Team 3. Training is scheduled to start this Friday 5 p.m. at the Bicini Diamonds. From 17, the final 15 players will be confirmed to travel. The teams have a decent mix of experience and youth and have been picked on form and consistency throughout the season. POM Team 1 Melonas under United Brothers head coach Tony Double are defending champions and look solid, with seasoned campaigners Tony Williams, Anthony Double, Ora Gima, Adrian Chan, Paul Bogan and the like, and will be the team to watch. POM Team 2 Meros will be led by the experience of Collis Puggle, Glenn Diggins, Julius Tati, Chris Park, Patrick Towler and Damas Totil. POM Team 2 Kakanas is mostly a development squad with rising stars that should provide some challenge for their opponents during the championships, with the likes of John Canit Jr., Douglas To Albert, Joe Gao, Donald Chan and Victor Gebore to steady the ship. Meanwhile, the two Mosby women's squad lists have also been announced, POM Gold and POM Black, with training already started last week. Unlike the men's teams, the women's squad have 21 players each. A levy fee of 1,000 kina will be charged per player. Other participating centres already confirmed for the championships are Kavieng, Pulamunski, Popondera, Medang, and host provincial associations Kokopo and Rabaul. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
The 2024 Port Moresby Racquets Club Open gets underway this week, with some exciting matches expected on the courts for both junior and seniors. The POM Racquet Club Open is one of the biggest annual events on the calendar, and for this year alone, it has attracted approximately 148 players from across PNG and Australia, mainly Cairns and Melbourne. Apart from Port Moresby, Lae Goroka and Mount Hagen are also in the mix. The major event starts with the Junior Challenge from Wednesday 21st to Thursday 22nd of September, followed by Open category from Friday 23rd to Sunday 25th of September.
After a break in 2020 due to COVID, this year marks the 8th year edition of the POM RC Open, being hosted at the Boroko Courts built under the Legacy Program for the 2015 Pacific Games. For the record, between 145 to 148 registrations for 2024 across both courts, tennis and squash. A large number of junior entries for tennis and squash reflect the success of the weekly junior development programs held at the POM Racquets Club. Junior tennis commenced Wednesday and ended today, Thursday, before the top seedings in the men's and ladies' open from Friday across to Sunday. When giving a brief overview of the event and what will unfold over the next couple of days, Tournament Director Eddie Mera said it will be an action-packed and exciting weekend for the Open Men and Open Ladies in both tennis and squash, which has attracted several seeds from Cairns and Melbourne to challenge our local stars and adding a touch of international flavour to the event.
POM Racquets Club Open is one of the biggest tournaments in our club calendar. So we attract players from other provinces and other countries who are coming in. And yeah, it's good to see tough competition coming in from outside as well, and our local players trying to defend the title. So it will be good to see some good matches on court.
Eddie made particular mention of the schools and junior tennis and its development program targeting the under-14 to under-16 age group. He said the Port Moresby Racquets Club runs sessions for young boys and girls on weekends with great support from parents.
With this tournament, we have a record number of kids entering, about 58 kids out of the 104 total. So it's good to see that our number of kids is increasing with our junior programs. Yeah, it's really good to see parents coming out and supporting the kids. After training, after a few sessions, it's good to see them going on court and playing a tournament and seeing the level of growth. Yeah. So our programs are on again next week, Saturday mornings. If you have nothing to do, come down to the Racquets Club in the morning, 8:30, and sign up for tennis or squash. Yep.
Out of 104 registered juniors, 50 kids have stepped up for the Junior Challenge, both in tennis and squash this week, which shows the overwhelming interest and growth in their development. This year, a new award for tennis juniors has been introduced. the Coach Kualam Apisa BM Award for the tennis junior during the POM RC Open, who demonstrates the best characteristics of a tennis player. About 16 sponsors have come on board to support this major event, including Digicel PNG. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
PNG amateur golfer Morgan Anato was the only local golfer to feature in the amateur finals at the recently concluded PNG Open 2024. Anato was happy with the result despite finishing second in the amateur tournament. Western Australian golfer Michael Hanrahan claimed the accolade for finishing on top in the PNG Open 2024 amateur tournament. But the PNG amateur champion golfer Morgan Anato was not far behind, putting a strong competition. Being the only local golfer to qualify for the finals, the 2023 PNG Open amateur winner Anato put everything into his game to retain the title, only to fall short to the Australian opponent. Despite the result, Anato is happy he made it into the finals and finished second. Anato highlighted that he played well throughout the tournament, but couldn't nail it in the finals. Nevertheless, he was happy where he finished the tournament.
So you stay calm, you relax, you play game, so well play. So, like you play good today, past 3 days, but today told me play West or 74 and West, like you know West brothers, like Lumia them was on West Coast. Me almost at least we finish for 4 days we finish even pass. Me almost at least we come second to me almost.
Making a comparison to his outing in 2023, Anato said the tournament was not competitive compared to this year's tournament. He said there are a lot of talents both from Australia and PNG, which is great for the local golfers to measure themselves as well. Anato has represented the country on several occasions. He's a two-time Pacific Games silver medalist, represent the country in golf in the years to come, making himself and the country proud. Former Kiwi star Benji Marshall is one of the 11 players to be inducted into the NRL Hall of Fame. Marshall is in good company for the 2024 inductees list as he joins the Hall of Fame alongside legends of the game such as Jonathan Thurston, Billy Slater and Cameron Smith.
Marshall gives it away to Benji Marshall, and you can holler for a Marshall.
39-year-old Benji Marshall made his debut for the West Tigers in 2003 and went on to make over 250 appearances in 2 stints with the Sydney-based club. He won the 2005 NRL Grand Final as the Tigers beat the North Queensland Cowboys 30-16 to claim their first and only title. The former Kiwi star is one of 11 new players to be inducted into the NRL Hall of Fame. He spent a 19-year-old career in the NRL playing for the St George Illawarra, the Brisbane Broncos and the South Sydney Rabbitohs in the latter part of his career. Marshall also made 31 appearances for the Kiwis and was part of the 2008 Rugby League World Cup winning side. He becomes the 4th Kiwi to make the prestigious list with Mark Graham, Stacey Jones and Ruben Wiki. Marshall made a short code switch in 2014, returning to New Zealand to play for the Blues in Super Rugby, but failed to make his mark in his switch to rugby union. Born in Wakaitani, Marshall moved to Australia when he was 16. He returned to his former club this season as head coach of the West Tigers, but things haven't gone to plan as they are currently anchored in the NRL ladder after winning 4 games this season. The 2024 NRL Hall of Fame inductees include Lionel Morgan, Les Boyd, Ben Elias, Steve Renouf, Cameron Smith, Jonathan Thurston, Billy Slater, Benji Marshall, Cooper Cronk, Craig English and Sam Burgess. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that wraps up sports segment. Mary Silla provides us weather details.
Port Moresby, sunny to partly cloudy with possible evening shower. Daru, mostly cloudy with evening showers and possible thunderstorm. Kerama, becoming cloudy with evening rain showers and thunderstorms inland. Alotau, mostly cloudy with chances of rain showers. Popondetta, partly cloudy with evening showers possible. Momase, Lay, rain showers and possible thunderstorms, then cloudy. Medan, sunny, fine, becoming partly cloudy in the evening. Wewak, partly cloudy with evening showers. Vanimo, becoming cloudy with evening rain showers and thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, becoming cloudy with some showers and thunderstorms. Kavieng, cloudy periods with evening rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Kokopo, Rabaul, cloudy with evening rain showers and thunderstorms. Kimbe, partly cloudy with evening showers. And Buka, mostly cloudy with evening rain showers and thunderstorms. Highlands, Mount Hagen, cloudy with evening rain showers. Goroka, Barnes and Kundiawa, partly cloudy with possible evening showers. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, partly cloudy with evening showers and thunderstorm. Coral Sea, seas rough to very rough with east to southeast winds of 25 to 33 knots, reaching 34 knots to 47 knots at times. Solomon Sea, seas moderate to rough with southeast winds of 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 25 to 33 knots over the eastern sector. Bismarck Sea, seas rough to very rough with patches of very rough seas with southeast winds of 15 to 25 knots, reaching 37 knots at times. Pacific Ocean, seas moderate to rather rough with easterly to northeasterly winds of 15 to 20 knots with gusts. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands, Kerma, Yule Island, Hood Point to Samarai Island, Cape Vogel, and all Milim Bay Islands, and waters of Finchafen through Vitia Strait to CSC Long Islands. Seas 2 to 3 meters, rising to 4 meters at times along gale warning area. Waters of Bougainville, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters, rising to 3 meters along warning areas. And that wraps up the news tonight. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.